Back at the McLean Barbershop, Season 2, Episode 9. This is Dwayne and Darnell, Talk of the Town 918. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Talk of the Town, the 918 edition. We got a special guest today, a 405 legend, Carl Albert legend, OU legend, one of the best high school football players that I've seen. I seen him. He'll pop his shit a little bit. I seen him beat Booker T. He ain't really probably going to take credit of it, but he beat Booker T by himself in 02, his senior year. We got JD Runnels. Appreciate you showing up, bro.
Man, I appreciate the love, man, and I'm excited to be here, man.
Yeah.
I'm humbled and honored, man.
Yeah.
Be up here in the T in 918. A lot of respect for, I'm sure we're going to talk about it, but just much respect to you guys for keeping it real on the pod and, the kids y'all help and the guys that I had to compete against, plain and simple.
Appreciate that. So take us through your little journey, how you got started. Like, what age did you pick up the football and start playing ball?
Man, well, y'all know my brother Lenny. He's 10 years older than me. And so, when he was turning about 13 or 14, he started to, move out the house instead of, kicking me all over the bedroom at the bunk beds. So, man, I was a hyper kid. I wanted to get out the house. About 4 years old, my mom put me with the Eastside T-Birds. Coach Benjamin Steele, rest in peace. You won't believe it, but Donovan Woods was our quarterback.
Oh, okay.
DeJuan Woods was wide receiver.
Oh, so y'all was nice then.
So we played. Rashawn was on the older T-Bird team. So
okay.
me in the Woods, and that's why it's always, when anybody asks me about OSU, it's like, man, y'all don't understand. Like, we just grew up together.
For sure.
4 years old. So, man, started out with the T-Birds. I knew something was up, because I started out on the offensive line, and I was like, okay, I'm all right. But I'm going to just be real. I was the only light-skinned kid, only mixed kid on my team, right?
Was
you
big, though?
No, we're going to talk about that. I wasn't big. But so I went from O-line, I played guard, to eventually playing tailback. And so I was like, what they got me doing playing tailback, and before I knew it, man, I was breaking runs. I was, I was handling business back there. So, as I kept growing, so I played there for a couple years. We had Little League ball at Steed Elementary. So I played there, and I think the biggest thing was I was never the best. I always had people there that was competing with me. Steed, and I know y'all don't know, Midwest City like that, but Steed is rivals with Soldier Creek.
Okay.
Half of Steed, 3/4 of Steed goes to Monroney. Back in then, it's Midwest City Junior High now.
Okay.
So most of my school went to Midwest City.
Gotcha.
Some of us, I was living over by, if y'all ever go to Midwest City, it's Reno Swim and Slide. It's the big pool that everybody go to, but I lived over by that. So we started out living on the east side. Before I started school, I played 2 years for the T-Birds. Then we moved out to Carl Albert.
Gotcha.
When I moved out to Carl Albert, from 6, 7 years old, right when I started school.
Also, Carl Albert is in middle school also.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's middle school. Okay. So I go play at Steed. When I move out there, now the big thing was like the east side had talent organized. Brother, where I lived at Midwest City, just on the block was Mike Gaddis, Jeff Webster, McDonald's All-American.
Okay. So you had some dudes.
Dudes. My brother had, he befriended 4 guys that 3 of them in the class of 1992 and 1 of them in the class of 93 all signed D1.
Gotcha.
Now that sounds great for everybody. But for me, at 7 years old, going against 17-year-olds who know no boundaries playing football and, like, just knocking me out, bro. Like,
gotcha.
I mean, they made me a monster. So fast forward just a couple years, one of them, there was Lynn Sexton was running back. David Guy was a D-tackle. I call them all uncle. Damon Turner was a running back. And Vincent Colbert played athlete. 3 of them went to Wyoming. One of them went to Texas Tech.
Okay.
Well, after Vincent came home from Wyoming, fast forward a few years, I mean, they turned me into like this, I think, because like I said, I started with them like kindergarten, first grade. By the time I got to 5th or 6th grade, he went to coach one of our schools that we played in elementary, and like when he was on offense, they could not run a play. Like, I'm getting through the line. Pow,
so you were special at a young age.
I mean, I getting there. I was getting there. So he was like, damn, JD, like, calm down. I'm like, nah, man, y'all ain't calm down on me. Like, nah. So So skip forward, go into 7th grade, and I really think that, and that's why I'm so, blessed to call myself a Titan, man. But like the homeboys that I made and we actually moved, I think in 8th grade, closer to the school because I was not on the border, but I was in the district.
Yeah.
We moved closer to the school, and when I entered into 7th grade, moved in 8th grade. Like I said, I was there 7th grade, but the friends that I made, man, I mean, the dudes that I compete with, and it's people that, most of the outside world not going to know, but Mike Dunn, who's the head coach now at Carl Albert.
Okay.
We were rival fullbacks in elementary, bro.
Oh, okay.
Mike ended up being an all-state player, his senior year. A couple of my other buddies, Jay Guerrero, Derek Colquitt, my quarterback, Andre Daniel. I moved on the exact same street as him.
Andre Daniel, he was tall, right?
Tall Dre. He does the 7-on-7 camps. He was
I remember him. Was he number 5?
Number 5.
Yeah, he was
remember he was
tough.
nice.
Same class.
Same class.
I do
Same
remember.
class.
Yeah.
Same class. So again, me just entering Carl Albert in junior high, like not going to Midwest City, obviously.
Let me ask you this though. Did you get recruited in that district? No. You just moved and moved.
No. We moved.
But Carl Albert was special. Before you got to high school, Carl Albert was already good in football, wasn't they?
They weren't bad. They were more of a basketball school.
Gotcha.
And I appreciate you asking, but it's my dad's black, my mom's white. My dad went to Douglas High School.
Okay.
So I grew up on the east side, and I was supposed to go to Douglas.
All right, gotcha.
We put Douglas out the playoffs twice, and it's still like all my friends that played on the east side, T-Birds, went to Douglas. Wanted me to go to Douglas. And so my brother's 10 years older than me. We have different dads. He was a skinny dude coming out of high school. Well, my dad was a federal. My dad played baseball at Langston. Okay. So dad, brother-in-law, and my sister all went to Langston. So dad gets a criminal justice degree from Langston, becomes a federal officer at the housing authority right there by Douglas High School. My mom works at that housing authority for 18 years until she passed. I was thinking I was going to be a Douglas Trojan. I said all that about my brother because he was getting chased home from school. So my mom was like, nah,
we can't do that.
We can't have that with my baby. So
Gotcha.
Moves us out to, and again, I know y'all not too familiar with Oklahoma City, but we moved right down 10th Street. Like it was, 10th Street in the city to 10th Street in Midwest City. And, it was just destiny, man. It really was. But I moved because, like I said, Carl Albert they had won one state championship in 89. So Gaddis graduated in 88. Carl Albert's won at least every 4 years since the year he graduated.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. When you stepped foot in Carl Albert, your freshman year.
7th grade.
7th grade. But when you're in high school, your 9th grade year, did you start varsity your freshman year?
No. So 7th and 8th grade, I was going. Oh, sorry about that. So, going around and figuring out what I was, and it ended up carrying over into 9th grade and sophomore year. 7th and 8th grade, I played offensive line again. Like I moved back to O-line.
How big was you in it?
Still about 130. I think eighth grade. It's gonna get there. About 8th grade, I was at 153. Okay, so I was one of the bigger kids. Had to fight in the trenches. Had to do that. Man, a lot of people who truly know JD know him as a basketball player.
Oh, okay.
And so I was a hooper. Like growing up, you could not get me out of the gym.
Yeah.
And in fact, and we're going to talk about his ass, but Robert Meacham, like I met him as a damn 7th and 8th grader playing against the Jammers and, and just my opinion, if that dude would have never touched a weight, he could have been up there with Jordan, Kobe, and all that. I swear to you, bro. At that age, to be able to dunk, to be able to fade away, to be able to handle the ball, I mean, he was truly he's like y'all saw it on Twitter the other day. He's the best athlete I've ever been around.
Yeah.
So for me, 7th and 8th grade, we was just all right in football. And again, Carl Albert wasn't really like they had won in 7th grade and 8th grade. They went back to back in football. So me being the basketball cat, I'm like, shoot, I didn't go up to the for us 7th and 8th grade was junior high, 9th, 10th. Excuse me, 7th, 8th, 9th was junior high, and then 10, 11, 12 was in high school.
Okay.
So if the freshman football team, you could go at the end of the season, or you could go straight into basketball.
I got you.
So 9th grade, I get put at tight end. Well, again, I've been playing O-line. Well, now I start catching the rock.
Yeah.
And, I catch the first catch, 70-yard touchdown. Mush somebody, gone. The next game, coach moves me back to O-line. So I'm like, exactly. So he's like, man, I think you can be one of the best tight ends we ever come through Carl Albert, but we need to have you at O-line. So I'm like, all right, cool. So finish the season. I don't go up to high school for football. I go hoop. Man, Dre his mom made him sit out the junior high season because he was messing around. He had some bad grades. Man, I averaged 32 a game as a freshman. And so I got pulled up to varsity in basketball as a freshman, and I played in 2 games there. Okay. And so again, I'm thinking I'm a hoop the following year. So again, I'm 150 as a freshman. It's getting there. My sophomore year, me and Dre come out, and we're thinking, oh man, we just got pulled out in varsity. So we go to one practice, and I don't know, I'm sure y'all remember Johnny Bazell.
Oh yeah, special. Number 40. Yeah, special. Yeah.
So my first time, like, right, you already know where this is going. So Dre's backup quarterback at the time. He's only a sophomore. I'm tight end D end, and I'm going against Johnny Bazell in tackle drills. And I'm like, bruh, this is not right. This is
I'm a young pup. I'm a sophomore.
Man, I'm only 180. You know, he 240 already, you know, working on a kid and stuff like that. You know? I'm like, man, I got to do this every day. So no cap, as a kid say, me and Dre walking home, we decided to quit football.
Your sophomore
year.
Shit, I didn't know
we
that.
Decided to quit football. Because of Johnny. We leave. We start telling all of our homeboys. Back then, everybody only had the home phone. You know? So
with no call wait.
Yeah, right. No, we ain't going back to football. No, we done. We going to basketball, bro. We'll holler at y'all. You ain't seen what I seen. So we like, man, we decided. So Coach Rose hears about it. Anytime Coach Rose called me, and he called me in his office 3 times, I'll tell you about all 4. I'll tell you about all 4 of them. One, he pulls me and Dre, and he's like, look, y'all are going to be great players here. He said, JD, you were the only one that kept going against Johnny. You're going to probably make varsity. Andre, you're going to be a 2-year starter here as soon as Layton's gone. So he's like, all right, man, so we'll stick with it. So sophomore year, I end up, I played second string tight end, and we went double tight a lot. It was I formation double tight with 1 receiver. My first play of my sophomore year on defense, I get to play DN. And we had blocked a punt. We're up 7-0 on Choctaw. And I think our other tight end had scored. He was tired, so it was 14-0. I go in. I'm in a 4, head up on the tackle.
Yeah.
I won't tell you his name because he's a coach now. But so I rip inside, and I get there real quick, and they're throwing a bubble, and I'm so nervous, man. I just tap the ball, and the ball goes backwards, and we scoop it up for a touchdown. So my very first play of my – we get a forced fumble before a touchdown, right? So I'm like, whew, like I'm hype. I'm like, okay, I can do this. I caught 1 touchdown sophomore year. What changed, I think, the trajectory in my career.
That's what I was going to ask you. When did JD become JD?
So this is the time. So y'all, there's gonna be a lot of moments where y'all like this dude. It's just me, man. I mean, I gotta back up what you said about being one of the best high school athletes.
Yeah, for sure.
So sophomore year, we're playing Bishop Kelly, and Bishop Kelly's tough.
Patrick Nally.
They beat us in the playoffs, first round. Yeah.
They had huge
Jake
tight ends,
Morrell, I
James
think.
Clancy.
Yeah, real shit at linebackers.
Tough.
They what?
Tough.
They beat us.
Man, we're up. It's 7-7. No, it's 7-6.
It's playoffs.
Semifinals.
Okay.
So
they beat us right before that.
Yeah. So we're up 7-6. It's 7-6 the entire game. Finally, in the 4th quarter, we score. We go for 2. Just hand off to Bazell, of course, right? Yeah. So he gets it. So it's 14-7. Well, again, I only got to play a little bit of defense while I go in at DN. And I mean, it was. I remember it like yesterday. They run a speed option. They're into the boundary. They run a speed option reverse. Right.
Crazy thing. They got that from us the week before.
Oh, I believe it.
Because we used to run Hurricane with David Bowie and them.
Yeah.
Speed option to the reverse.
Listen,
that's facts.
So he comes out speed option reverse. I'm singled up, blocked on this huge tackle, and again, I'm just a sophomore. I'm 180 right now. I'm like, and everybody you can see it on film. Everybody flows straight to the ball. He can go inside me and just run up the field. He can go outside and just beat me out running. So I'm sitting here and I'm just holding this tackle for dear life, and I'm just like, I'm not going to make the right decision. And I see this dude. He's blazing. So I'm thinking, okay, let me fake cut in here just so I can like. So I hold him. Right when he gets, I fake cut, spin out, and just start sprinting towards the sideline. Right, and I mean, I catch him 1 yard deep. 1 yard deep, push him out. You look on film, there's nobody there.
Wow.
There's nobody there. One of the dads from, he's a firefighter in Midwest City. Every time he sees me, he almost tears up and says, JD, if you wouldn't have stayed home on the reverse, my son would not have been a state champion.
Damn.
Chad Stuckey's dad. Coach Rose, at the very end, we used to get Sonic burgers on the way back. He was, JD stayed home on the first 2 Sonic burgers. Oh, yes. Hey, it's little things. I'm like,
for sure. You're a sophomore, too. Yeah.
So fast forward, we win state.
Sophomore year, win state.
Yep. So that was our three-peat.
Uh-huh.
So I come back, now I'm out to basketball. So sophomore year, man, didn't start the first game, end up averaging 15 points a game on varsity. Go into the summertime, fast forward, now I put on 45 pounds in 1 year.
Oh, on purpose?
Not on purpose. So Coach Rose was at all of our summer league games. He was trying to get us ready. Well, along with that, I was trying out for Athletes First.
I got you.
And we had the most loaded class
ever. Azubuike, all of them, yeah. Sheldon,
was different.
D'Angelo.
So we show up. It's me, my boy Richard Jones, who played on the East Side T-Birds with me, Douglas, Kalina, D'Angelo, Sheldon, Bookout, Julius.
Brady Page.
Brady was there. And Marcus Hayden, who going to go to K-State. So me and Brady battling because I was a point guard, and I took it. He shouldn't even got invited. That's the motto I had. I'm the point guard. I've been dealing with all these dudes. I'm the one. I basically clawed my way to get into the workouts. Wasn't invited. Man, I go. Next thing you know, in front of Kelvin Sampson, in front of Bill Self, in front of Eddie Sutton, I'm balling. Terry Evans, if you call him right now, after about 3 practices, he called me and said, JD, you can be my starting point guard. I mean, and I something told me at that time, because I was gaining weight. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like, it hurts my soul thinking about not choosing basketball.
Oh, for real?
That was my love, man. I used to, when my mama would be cooking at night, I would go out in the garage in the dark, no shirt on, and just dribble. I come in drenched in sweat. My mama would know. She just hear me out. I never got the ball stolen from me, and I was a beast on defense. And again, I got pulled up as a freshman, 15 a game as a sophomore, 18 a game as a junior, and then I ended up not playing senior year. I'll come back to that though. So right when he said that, I was like, I think that football's gonna be my ticket. Like back then, a 5'11" point guard didn't matter much. The way I fed Sheldon, the way I, stole one from D'Angelo in this workout, gave little Kalina behind the back. They're in the 2-3 zone. Nobody wants to shoot. I fake one right here, just knock one down in front. Kelvin Sampson. I'm like, So I something told me right then that football was going to come easier. So I went towards football. I hit the weight room hard. So my junior year, I come out. I was killing people junior year, man. I ended up having the second most yards for a tight end in the nation. I had 747 yards. So I averaged 20 a catch.
So what year was that? Your junior year? Maybe you had the Twins?
Yeah, the Twins was at tailback. They was at corner.
Y'all beat Booker T at Stillwater High School.
The greatest game
I've ever seen in my life.
If you were there,
I was there.
You get chills. If you were there, you get chills. I was gonna bring that up. So junior year, I'm getting all these passes. My breakout game, we play El Reno. We were 1-3. Sorry, back over. We lose to Ada at we lost to Stillwater. Josh Fields put 300 on us in the second half. So we lose to Stillwater. I drop a touchdown pass in that game. They had another receiver who ended up signing with Oak State as well. I can't remember his name, but he was really nice. Lose to Stillwater. We lose to Ada at home. Chucky Caulfield. Put it on us. Rock Rodebush put it on us.
Chucky
put it on us. So, but during that game, I had 3 catches, and my second to last one, I caught a little bubble, and I tried to reverse field, and one of my own linemen tackles me. And I'm like, next time, just get the hell out of the way. Get out of the way. And so that game, I caught one, and 70 yards, I reverse field on him. And so I think my coach was like, we got to get him the ball. So we lost to Stillwater, we lose to Ada, and then we lose to Douglas. Douglas was nice back then. So we're going into the playoff. Just the El Reno game. Okay. El Reno's number 1 and undefeated, and we 1-3. We're about to go see him. So we went out there and seen him. The movie, we was the Titans. The movie Remember the Titans comes out that week. We went and saw it as a team on Thursday, and come out and I had 8 catches for almost 200 yards, couple touchdowns. First play of the game, I sacked the quarterback. We almost scoop and score it. So we get through junior year, make the playoffs. I think we played Lawton Mack first game, and then we played Douglas second game in a rematch game. We beat them, and then we make it to Booker T. And
Your junior year.
Junior year. And
This is at
That's that still.
oh Mike. What?
No,
Y'all blocked the field goal.
We
or
don't
something?
get there. We don't get there.
Free my guy Chad, man. This game, you lost Booker T this game because you didn't block
On the field.
Yeah, block on the field
Stephen
goal,
Belvin.
man.
Stephen
God,
Chad, man. I love you, bro, but you lost Booker T the game, bro.
I'm gonna tell you a story about Stephen Belvin too in this game. So we come out.
I think Robbie was throwing up and shit that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mustard,
If that team wins 2 more games, to me, that's one of the most talented teams in Oklahoma.
What's
ever.
your team?
No,
Booker T.
Yes.
That's a
If
fact.
if you
Write down on
that
paper.
roster,
Mike Wilson,
Yes.
Mark A,
Gage,
Roy Gage, Robbie, Chad. We keep Juju, Keyfree, all of them. Boom. We can name a lot of
Probably
dudes.
about 15 to 20.
So the only thing that saved us was their offense came out stale. I don't know why Jimerson had them in that wing team. No disrespect, but thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
Yes,
Real
straight up.
shit.
There was about 2 or 3 key points. I look back at the game, and I mean, 1, we scored early, which helped us a lot. 2, they had the ball on the one. They had the 10-yard line.
4th and 1.
They get 9 yards on first down.
Yeah, it's a good score.
Hand off to Mike. I tackle him. I don't know how I tackled him.
Yeah.
3rd down, they try to sneak. We stop him. 4th down, they try to sneak. We stop him.
And
people
Rico
are going
6'6",
crazy.
he couldn't get in the end zone.
Couldn't get in. Turn around. We try to run a dive. Don't get it. Dre hits me on a slant. We get out to midfield.
Yeah.
Their kicker makes a field goal that first half, so it's 7-3 at halftime. We come out. We get the ball. They kick off to my boy Robert Jones at Dell City. He returns it to the house, 14-3. They come back, make a field goal, 14-6. And you could just feel their offense getting going. You could just feel it. They come down, score with like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. This is 14-13. We get the ball. All we have to do is run the clock out. That's all we got to do is run the clock out. Man, we get, I think, 1 first down. We get the 3rd down. One of our guys misses a block, and good defense by them. Stop us. We punt. And, I mean, you got to remember, this is a Carl Albert team that's gone 3 championships in a row.
Yeah.
Up until last year when they lost to Collinsville, we've never lost the semifinal game.
God.
Ever.
I got you.
Ever. 18-1.
Damn.
Yes.
Damn.
So I mean, it's on the line like that at Carl Albert, man, and they couldn't have went down the field faster. I mean, hitching, hook and lateral to Robert.
Yeah.
Mike starts running, QB run. They get down to the 12-yard line with 14 seconds left. They're on the left hash.
You remember it.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I'm on the left side. I'm like the second guy away. I'm right over. Ryan's nephew.
Chad.
I'm right over Ryan's nephew, Chad. So I'm like, damn, you know, because he's a big kid. Well, they call timeout. We called or whatever. Stephen Belvin. So after that goal line stand in the first quarter, Belvin had popped his shoulder out of place. Okay, he only played linebacker. He goes out, pops his shoulder back in place, doesn't miss a snap. Right, comes in on that play, right beside me and blocks the field goal. But what happens is, for people who don't know, the field goal goes forward, and one of our twins catches the ball on the 1 yard, like in between the 0, like in 1 yard line, laterally, catches it and falls back. So we're all going crazy. We're like, oh my God, we about to win. We going blah, blah, blah. Man, we didn't think, we got to get the ball out of here. We can't just take a knee, you know. So we get we came to the sideline. We decided we were going to go on Goose. Dre was 6'3", 105 probably, you know. Snap, get a half yard. Quarter, you know, refs like down. Booker T calls timeout. Do it one more time. Refs like down. Game's over. And you see, we have it on our highlight film, and you could just see it, man. There's guys on our team that's just laid out. There's guys on Booker T's team that's just laid out. Nobody could believe what they had just saw.
Is that one of the greatest high school games you ever played in?
There's the only one that would really compare, I can tell you about my next year, but when we played Douglas,
I got you.
It was crazy. So we go on that. We win state. We play Ada again. We beat Chucky and them. And what was funny was I didn't win the game against El Reno. I didn't win player of the game. So all my boys was giving me hell, like, you ain't even know you scored all these, you had all this, and it was a big thing for me. So I ended up in the state finals. I won player of the game. So I come back, and about a week later, Coach Rose calls me into his office. I'm like, what's he calling me in there for? You know, calls me in. He's like, hey, man, I want you to know that I only nominate my seniors for All-State. And I was like, okay, that's great. He's like, they've been in my program. They've worked really hard. He was like, well, they called me and told me that they're already picking you.
Damn.
And I was like, wow. Yeah, so I ended up being the only junior to make All-State. The following year, you know who the only junior to make All-State was?
Who?
Meacham.
Yeah.
We got to take a quick break. So when we come back and JD will finish his story. But don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Talk of the Town, the 918 edition.
There is truly no place like home. Right here in Eastern Oklahoma, Bravado Wireless provides the best unlimited talk, text, and data for only $40 a month. We believe in strong, connected communities. That's why we live stream community events like local football games. You may not know us by name, but we'll be at the same festivals and cheering for our kids on the same sidelines. Because we live where you live. Visit bravadowireless.com or visit one of our stores, where we make it easy to join our family. Bravado Wireless. We believe in the power of connection.
All right, we back from break. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Talk of the Town, the 918 edition. So when did you start getting your first college looks?
So A&M, after I started doing what I did, after I started doing what I did at tight end, A&M saw me as the next Jamar Toombs.
And this is your junior year?
Junior year.
Okay.
Kevin Sumlin, name would sound familiar.
Yeah,
The guy that's at Syracuse, the head coach.
The head coach. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
He was I can't think of his name.
Is it beginning with D?
I'll think of it. He was one of the quarterbacks coach, and then JB Grimes was the offensive line coach. One of them three were at my school every week. They were at my school every week. JD, we want you. All you got to do is come up, run a 40. We want you. We want you. I'm like, all right, whatever. So they're on me hard. They want me to play fullback. So played basketball, go on the track, and shout out, any kid that wants to go D1, if you're not in track, you don't really want to go D1.
Gotcha, yeah.
Point blank, period. Yeah. You really don't want it. That's the ultimate competition. It's competing against yourself. Really.
Yeah, yeah.
So you mentioned them twins that we had and Robert Jones. We actually made a push to win state, and I think we took runner-up to Ardmore.
4x1.
Well, everything, all around, because we ended up winning that as a team my senior year.
Okay.
So we pushed, and I would be their rabbit. I would start out about 20 yards ahead of them. And, again, I had put on all this weight. So I'm, 235 at this time, from 180. But, man, I could roll. And we started out, we ran 40s to start. And I think I ran a 5 flat or something, a 4.8, something like that. And by the end of track season,
about 4.6.
Me and Brandon Smith, he beat me with about like 2 steps. I ran 4.48.
Damn.
So I was at 235, and right after I did that, I went down to A&M. A&M, it was like a movie. My brother-in-law went to Langston. He drives me there. He's like, you need to go to this camp. So I'm like, all right, let's go. We go down there. We warm up. We run 240s, okay? They had us slotted by weight, so it was like 150 to 180, 180 to 220, and then I had anybody over 220. When I tell you I beat all these Texas cats by 10 yards easily, his name was Cassidy or Holly. I think the AD's name was after we ran 240s. He's like, "Come here, man. We got to go over here." We run 240s. We walk into their facilities just like a movie. The elevator's open. R.C. Slocum's in there. He says, "JD, we love what we see. We want to offer you a scholarship."
Damn.
We were not there 15 minutes.
Damn.
I promise you.
Yeah.
It just walked in, ran a 40, it was over. I was like, oh my, could you imagine the Twitter?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But so that happens. Well, again, and this is how important track is. I was a fat kid. I love sugar. My mom cooked well, so I'm sitting at home for about 3 weeks, and then OU calls. They're like, hey, we want you to come work out. Well, I didn't run as fast. I think I ran like 4.68 at OU, and they was like, nah, we can see that anywhere. Like, no problem. Yeah. So OU was like, no. OU told me no several times. So, but what happened that year, Mark Mangino wrote me a handwritten letter, and he was like,
Where was
man,
he at then?
OU.
Oh, yeah.
So he was like, man, I really like your game. So that kind of kept me motivated. My senior year, move on. So we started out, we played Stillwater again. It was a revenge game. And, man, I went crazy. I mean, went crazy on offense, on defense, on special teams. Had like 4 for 160, a couple touchdowns. Had a body slam a dude, and it's on the front page of the paper. And then I had a hit that I'm sure we're going to talk about the Q Chaney hit, but I had a hit that game.
Yeah, we need to talk about that.
I had a hit that game that probably compared to that one. I mean, it was violent.
Well, can I ask you something? That Booker T game, let's skip to that Booker T game. What got into you that game? Like, you was on a mission. Like, what was it? Like you try to kill Robbie, the Q, everybody. Like
Getting McClellan, the quarterback.
I can say you probably gonna give credits to his teammates. I feel like you beat Booker T by yourself.
I appreciate that.
You did.
With all them, with all them athletes and
You was trying to prove a point.
so if you don't mind, let me. So my third game of the season, we're playing Douglas, and again, all my buddies went to Douglas. I grew up. My quarterback tries to fall forward and sprains my ankle, and so I miss a game. And so again, the only offer I have right now is Texas A&M.
Senior year.
OU keeps telling me no.
Right.
I haven't heard from me and Dre went up to OSU's junior A. Other than that, I haven't heard from OSU. I never got one letter from Tulsa. Okay, so I'm going through this year now. I miss a game from the sprained ankle. Coming back, the D end who and I didn't mention this because I was just playing O-line, but when I played defensively, the same guy my freshman year and senior year, Todd Campbell. And this is what Carl Albert's like. You miss a game,
He's somebody else right there.
he got a sack this game. He got 2 sacks the next game. He got 3 sacks the next game. We got to find JD a new place to play.
Damn.
Got my spot taken by the same dude.
So that's why they moved you fullback.
Free safety.
Oh.
So what happened was
I thought you just was there for that game.
No. So we played Guthrie, and Guthrie had the kid that went to Pitt State, DeMarco, something
Yeah.
like that. He was nice.
He was nice.
First play of the game, they run a wheel route and score on us from 80.
And you had safety.
No.
Okay,
not
okay.
yet. So this is the game that ended up, because again, Todd played, we played 3 different people. It was like Woodward, Western Heights, and Guthrie. And each game, he kept getting more sacks, right? And so by the Guthrie game, me and him are still rotating, and we had a safety that was making some errors who also, he played both sides of the ball. He was a tailback too. So they're like, look, and again, Coach Rose comes in. He I have to tell you a story about earlier, but one story, he made me a decoy. The second game of the season, we played Ada. After that Stillwater game, I had went off. He made me a decoy and wouldn't throw me the ball.
Wow.
So we'd fake a bubble and throw a backside slant. One of my homeboys had like 300 receiving in the first half. So 4 touchdowns. So it's crazy. So that worked. Well, then he comes to me, like it's like week 9, and he's like, we want you to play free safety. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, and when you say what got into you, like, for me, Carl Albert's is you do the Death Squad shirts, like the old Nebraska where they give out the black shirts to the starters. Well, I hadn't got a black shirt in 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, because you was hurting all that. Okay.
And so believe it or not, I'm pissed about it. Like I told my brother, I was like, man, I don't want to play no free safety. Like, what do you think? Like, damn, roast me. I'm gonna be on back then it was N1 mixtape. Like, on the N1 mixtape of football for the wrong reasons. So he talked me into, he's like, you're not going to quit. Like, you're going to dominate. You're going to do your thing. He was like, just think about it. Now you get to go just get unblocked.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't piece it together, but Douglas was wishbone triple option. Booker T's wing T. Whoever, Altus, who was really good, we ended up playing them there. Wishbone double tight.
Yeah.
So my coaches said, look, we're going to man the twins up. We're going to put Tawan at strong safety, and he'll guard number 3 or whoever's their third best receiver. And JD's either free or he's guarding their 4th best receiver. And if their 4th best receiver beats us, then
real shit.
Then we shouldn't, right? So first game of the season, first game I'm in, we play Northeast. They run a little option. I'll be damned if I play. I mean, I'm 8 yards deep at safety. Quarterback, I see the look in his eyes too, and he's like, no. And I play quarterback to pitch, and I'm like,
perfect.
You know what? I can do this. I can do this. So, basketball background helps. So we get to Douglas, second round. It was a rematch game. So I caught 1 touchdown. First of all, the first play of the game, rest in peace, David Brown, great athlete at quarterback for Douglas. Fakes dive, runs around. I meet him right in the hole. Bow! No yard gain. First of all, before that, Coach Rose thought we got scared against Douglas at home. So he made us wait. We had to warm up at Carl Albert. And we pulled up
Right
at 7 o'clock to play the game.
I got you.
And didn't warm up or nothing, just went and played.
Yeah.
So the whole crowd was just going crazy. It was like half of their stadium was like condemned because people like you couldn't sit in it. So it was like a small school game. People were just like packed around the side. So again, I'm like, I end up showing out that game. I catch a touchdown, and I bat up. They sent a back out the backfield. They had him wide open. On the touchdown that I catch, it's 7-7 the whole game. Touchdown I catch, I'm talking noise. I'm in the zone. I'm talking noise. My homeboys jump on me, right? So after all that talking, they pile on me, and I can't breathe at all, at all. And so I'm on a knee, and I pull my helmet off The ref, probably because I was talking too much, and because threw a flag, we have to kick from like 30 yards away, miss the kick, they return the ensuing kickoff 14-13. No. So we're losing. I'm like, I just lost our team this season. I just lost it. Like, we're done. Fast forward and this was like third quarter. So fast forward in the middle of the fourth quarter, they're backed up on like the 40-yard line. They go for a punt, muff the punt. We go in, score, go for 2. We win the game.
Okay. We
were up 21-14. The next series, Stanford White, rest in peace, makes an amazing play call that I just I told y'all my strong safety has number 3, which was the closest back to him. He lets him run on a vertical. They speed option out and throw it, and I just see him turn and run, and it's over my head. Just barely swatted out the air on the third down, and it makes him punt, and then we end up winning the game. If not, it's a touchdown. It goes to overtime. Who knows? So the next game's Booker T.
At Jinx.
At Jinx. Yeah. And I'm like, all they kept talking about was, well, Robert Meacham and Q Chaney have offers. They got offers. Yeah. They got offers. And I'm like, all I got is Texas A&M. All Texas A&M thinks of me is as a fullback.
And you telling me no.
Oh, you telling me no. And I'm like, if somebody, this is probably the game that if who's the best has to show. And no disrespect to them, because I feel bad even saying it, because it's kind of a messed up spot to put them in. I mean, Bobby's not a wing T back. You know what I'm saying? Catching sweeps and having to dodge 5-6 people in spins, and then I clock him. And Q Chaney just, so we're playing the game. We score, they score, we score again. Bobby runs back a kickoff. So it's 14-14 at half. We come out of half, and we started scoring, and things just kind of started piling on. Bobby twists his ankle. The play he comes out, they call a seam to me and touchdown, and the game's over.
Yeah, it was like 42-14, wasn't it?
49-14. Yeah. So my thing was, they just put me back. They even put me on kickoff that game because Bobby kept returning kicks. They had me on kickoff. So I'm at deep safety. They're like, dude, just get like 30 yards back and just play center field. Well, my dad played college baseball, so I play center field. I play a lot of baseball. So, man, I remember seeing this quarterback. He drops back, he looks left, and right as he looks left, I look right, and Chaney's just running a post right to me. And I'm like, oh no, like, oh, it's time, like game time. And I don't even think about it, and I'm just running full speed. And I mean, man, it was just perfect timing. And unfortunately for Q Chaney, I would have been kicked out for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But man, ended up knocking him out. Accidentally hit one of my teammates. I mean, it was like a damn bomb exploded.
My grandpa, he told Q, like, why would you go to OU with that dude? He did you like that. I was making fun of him. As we're leaving the game, me and we have this old coach, Tex Rollins, he was my DN. He's DNs and special teams. He's in the Oklahoma High School Hall of Fame. As we're walking out of the game, he'll tell you it's one of the funniest stories he ever had. We're walking out, and somebody from Booker T's crowd starts yelling at me, 85, 85. Like, what? He's like, I'm calling the cops on you.
That's probably Papa.
I'm like, for what? He's like, attempted murder, assault and battery. He just starts naming them all. I'm like, bro, it's football. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
So, man, we did that. We turned around, and then we played Altus, so we win that. Well, like you said, Twin, there were a couple of weeks go by, and A&M's like, JD, we've been recruiting you. We're your only offer. We either you commit or we're gonna have to go somewhere else. Like, we want you, but so I was like, you know what? Like, you right. Like, I commit. Like, so I committed. Well, my coach back then, as soon as it was either your name went in the paper. That was it. That's all you got. So my coach read to Oklahoman and was like, he's like, he called me in his office again. He was like, you've been a humble kid. You've done everything I've asked you to do. I think you're good enough to play at OSU, and I'm going to call him for you. So I'm like, they told me no 75 times. Well, apparently, I come in the very next day. He's all giddy, you know what I mean? And I'm like, what's up? And he's like, got a few phone calls for you. Just want you to stay humble. Just want you to, talk to them, see what they got to say. It's like, cool. Mind you, A&M, this is where I appreciate your comment, and I think I'd have to agree with you about JD being up there. So A&M wants me to play fullback. I pick up the phone. Mike Gundy from OSU is like, hey, man, we're sorry we didn't recruit you. I'm going to put Coach Miles on the phone. We think you could be a great linebacker for us. So I was like, okay. Les Miles gets on, JD, we really sorry that we didn't recruit you, but I'm going to offer you a scholarship. I'm like, whoa, what? Like, he's like, just think about it, talk to your family, call me back. I'm like, cool. Hang the phone up. Coach Rose picks up the phone, calls somebody else. Pick up the phone. He's like, "Hello, hey JD, it's Cale Gundy. I'm sorry we didn't recruit you. We think you're athletic enough and da 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 da. And I'm gonna give Bob Stoops' phone. I think he's got some good news for you." I'm like, okay. And Bob Stoops on the phone. Hey JD, like we man, I'm watching your film and you're chubby and all this and that, but you're making plays and you hit that kid and I'm like, whoa, shit, should I offer this kid? And I'm like, I'm the head football coach. I'm offering you a scholarship. And I was like, whoa, because OU had won the year before. So man, I went home and I played a little. I could tell my mom was sad, that I was committed and thinking about moving. I didn't say nothing to her. I just came home and she walked in from work, same place she'd always worked. She's like, I was like, hey, Mom, I got some bad news. And she's like, what? I said, I'm not going to A&M. She's like, what? I said, OU and OSU offered me a scholarship today. She was like, what? Like, going crazy, She was like, so you going to OU, right? And I was like, whoa. Yeah, I'm going to OU. So it took me one day, bro. I was like, I wanted to be around the best.
Damn.
I wanted to be around the best. At that point, like, I knew. I grew up a Florida State fan because OU wasn't like that when I was younger.
And let me ask you, so you commit to OU, you go to OU. Give me your welcome, because you was a heavy hitter, big hitter. What was your welcome to OU moment, though, like where you was like, holy shit?
My first workout. And probably like second or third day of pads.
And what happened in your second or third day of pads?
Well, the first workout, bro, was people have to run track. I mean, you literally playing with life. At this point, you playing with life or death. I'm being real with you. These stories are not a game.
That's a fact, though.
Like, you show up early. We showed up 35 minutes early for a workout, just in case he started early. Maybe different now. I don't know. They got cameras in there and everything. We showed up 35 minutes early, bro. And I the first workout, I'm just sitting there chilling. I got a tank top on, I don't know what to wear. They ain't give me no clothes, no nothing. And again, I didn't run track. I didn't play basketball. I ain't ran track. So I just been kind of chilling. I looked a little bit. Man, he's like, hey, everybody outside. Go outside. And I'm in the workouts with Andre Woolfolk, Tommy Harris, some of the greatest athletes I've ever been around. And he's like, guys, last Friday, this is like a Monday. I waited till after my birthday. Please don't do that. It was my birthday is June 19th, so I gave him 2 weeks of summer. So I show up in the third week of summer, just don't know what to do. He takes us out to the old stadium, where the game stadium. It's like, guys, last Friday's workout was some bullshit. So we're going to get some stadiums in, and, you need to do it, you need to do it, you need to do it, you need to do it. And he went, I swear, I tell the story, but it felt like he just, like, took my soul with him, like, right as he said that, bruh. The thing is them stadiums is like step 1, step 2 to like 100. You know what I'm saying? And he times you up and down. So, I run the first one. I'm like, all right, I can maybe do this. Run the second one. I'm like, man, my leg's burning, Run the third one. I'm like, ooh, okay, I don't know about this. Run the fourth one. I'm like, good Lord. Run the fifth one, and I don't even remember. I think they ran 8. By the time I got to 6, I was done. I was done. Done, bro. And I'm falling over everywhere, throwing up everywhere. Well, I think Smitty thought that I had some dogging because, the old stories, he'd just kick you out.
Yeah.
Nah, he was like, come get this work. Like, come on, bro. When you say the wake-up call, that workout, I started doing a couple lifts. I looked up, and I think that day we had started the workout, like, right at, like, 9. Okay? So it's, like, from 9 to 11, at least. I remember thinking, oh, my God, like, how much longer do we have? Like, I even asked Woolfolk, how long do we work out? He's like, a couple hours. I look up at the clock. It had been 13 minutes. Bruh, I'm talking, I was defeated. I'm like, bruh, what? Hour and 47 minutes of this? I'm like, I can't. And I'm trying my hardest, bruh. And everybody else just Quentin Griffin, they just keep getting stronger, keep getting faster.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You looking at them like, man, what?
Exactly. Listen, hey, I wasn't a great power cleaner or bencher. Get underneath it like, hey, power clean 315. You know, there's no chance. Yeah. No chance. And they just kept feeding me through it, So finally, like I said, I tried to make it through the summer. I made every workout from there on. My thing was, I may not have been the fastest, I may not have been the strongest, but I was like, man, I'm gonna have to work.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna quit. Like I'm gonna just put in the work. So we get to practice. We like, man.
And this is your wake up call to practice.
This is my wake up call to practice.
Okay.
Shout out my boy Ronaldo Works, humble me.
Humble me. That kid.
Humble me. We come in the very first day I was with Coach Gundy, and he pulls up all of our he has the film up, so we watch a little bit of film. And he's like, I'm going to compare you guys. He pulls the thing up. You got your height, weight, 40 time, bench press, all that. Man, Ronaldo I don't know if he redshirt.
I don't know.
His junior year, he was benching 440.
Shit.
440.
Yeah.
JD 295. Right? Like, bruh, that, again, you see that?
Yeah.
So, fast forward about a week, I'm going through practice. I'm not getting any reps. So after this first workout and after this first week of football, I'm thinking why did they bring me in here?
Yeah.
Like I have no chance. Like there's nobody that can help me. There's no way I can make it. Well, Kiwan, this is why I hit you up about it. He didn't want to. He should have bragged on himself more. I'm gonna brag on him and tell you what happened. Uh-huh. So about the 12th day of camp, I remember it like it was yesterday. So I'm coming in, and I've started getting a few scout team reps. And so I was, trying to block people on scout team. Mike Stoops yelling at me, cussing at me. BV going hard on me. His linebackers were Lance Mitchell, Teddy Lehman, and Pasha Jackson, right? All day, every day. Jimmy Wilkerson, Dan Cody, Tommy Harris, Dusty, Andre Wolfolk, Derek Strait, just everybody. Dudes. And so I finally, one of my, you practice a week, have like a light scrimmage, practice a week, have a light scrimmage or a bigger scrimmage, and then you practice a week, and that's like the big scrimmage, right? The first scrimmage, this is back when they would let people come in. When my high school O coordinator, Matt Weber, now at Marlowe, doing a great job, he comes to me and he's like, man, do you want a red shirt this year? And I'm like, I want to play. He's like, well, you need to go hit somebody like you hit Q Chaney. I was like, all right. So the following Friday, I got in on scout team, and during the scrimmage, the second scrimmage, I get a hit on Lance Mitchell, kind of knock him back a little bit. The following week, we put in goal line. So they put the ball on the 1 yard line, right? When I tell you, because all them defenders that I named to you, when I tell you they were taking cats out, we went through 5 running backs, and 5 fullbacks.
Damn, so you had to go in.
So they I'm talking Quentin Griffin go in, pop, next guy. Ronaldo go in, pop, and Larry Pinson with big swole.
Yeah.
Pop, get the next guy. Finally, Kiwan, JD, get in there. And Kiwan, and what I love about Kiwan, you've met him, not the biggest, not the fastest, not the strongest, has a knack to
in the end zone.
3 yards.
Yeah.
And he won us a lot of games. And shout out to my dog, man, because there were very few people that were willing to just stick their head in there, find a crease. But I promise you, so what we did, we get in there, we run power, boom, we score. Mike Stoops, reload. Run power again, we score again, right? Reload, run it again, we score again. They come back the next week, and I'll never forget, like I said, that was probably a Monday or Tuesday practice. The way you knew that you were on varsity at OU is they would put that number on the back of your helmet. So when you came in your freshman year, you don't have a number on your helmet because they don't know if you're gonna be on varsity. So I came in to practice. I go to my locker. I'm thinking, it's just another day. I'm about to do another day of scout team. So I looked. I said, "Is that 38? What? Hold on," because there was no other freshman that had gotten numbers yet, right? And so I'm like, and all the freshmen could kind of see it. They was like, what you put numbers on your helmet for? And I was like, hey, I ain't. So, me, I ain't asked nothing. Nobody told me.
Man.
We go to practice. They're like, inside. And I run over, we're going with scout team. And I run over to Brent Venables in scout team. And he says, get over there. Don't ever hit my linebackers ever again.
Damn.
Like that.
Damn.
Like that. Now he didn't mean it because he was gonna send his guys after me, which he did. But man, me and Jason Carter was my roommate from Jinx.
My God.
Throughout training camp, throughout the first few weeks of the season, I broke like 6 face masks.
Damn.
Dealing with them. We would keep him in our dorm room, and he'd be like, man, you got another face mask up there. Just crazy. So, man, and I mean, again, I named you the 3 starters: Wayne Chambers, Clint Ingram, Rufus Alexander. I mean, dude, there was a reason these things were breaking.
Yeah, for sure.
It wasn't just me. Yeah. But what happened, man, is no matter what, me and Keywan had this bond, bro. Mm-hmm. And I'll talk about AD. AD was just a different guy, but we didn't have that same bond starting out. Me and Keywan, I think it was probably because we had both played at powerhouse high schools, and knew what physicality was like, and weren't scared of anything.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
What you gonna do? Knock me out? Okay, well, I'm, So, but man, we just had this. Every time there was a game, we played Missouri. I got to play 2 snaps, and the first series we do a play action hit Antoine Savage on a post. We get down to the 2-yard line, and the coaches were laughing at a couple things. So one, we run ISO straight at it's me, true freshman, straight through the hole, killed this senior linebacker. I mean, he's flat backed, right? Well, the D tackle and D end close the hole, and I mean it's this wide, and Keywan just gets touchdown somehow. He just had that knack.
Yeah, for sure.
And it ended up just accumulating. And he didn't tell y'all on y'all show. I listened to y'all show. He did a great job. We started a few games. They came out just in jumbo.
I got you.
We played Colorado and Iowa State. Our first plays were jumbo.
We're just
gonna come out and run, wear him out, and then put Q in the game and let him do his thing.
Oh, okay, got you.
I mean, we were that good. We were that good together. We won Co-Newcomer of the Year together.
So you had a great college career.
Move on to the next year. My mother passed away.
That's right.
Mother passed away. Sophomore year was that team. What could have been if Mike Stoops stayed? What could have been if Mike Stoops stayed? We, if you listen to the Texas Tech game, the last team we played in the regular season was Tech, and I finally watched the game copy, and one of the announcers, it's almost like he knew something was about to happen, but he was like, unless something crazy happens, I think this is your national championship winning team. Like that, blah blah blah. A week later, Mike that same week, Mike leaves.
Go to Arizona.
Take the Arizona job. Yep.
You could feel it, man. You could feel it when the cat is away. The mice will play. You could feel it.
Gotcha.
You could feel it in special teams. I know they felt it on defense. It wasn't the same, man. It was, and that hurts me because like it trickled over into the next year. The next year we get AD. Man, wow.
We're gonna take a quick break and then we'll come back. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Talk of the Town, and 918 Edition. This episode is brought to you by the Smith Family Agency. It's simple. They make sure you have the right insurance coverage on your home, auto, or business. They also have the best prices for insurance in Oklahoma. Call my guy Brian Smith with questions, and he will give you a quick quote. We trust him to always do the right thing for you and your family. Call Smith Family Agency at 918-417-7400 and tell them the Bubby sent you. All right, we back from a quick little break. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Talk of the Town, and 918 Edition.
JD, I'm going to give you 3 names, and I want you to describe what they mean to you or just something positive about them. The first one, everybody knows, Adrian Peterson.
Man, the only reason I get my highlights posted on Twitter. People don't understand, just amazing person at heart. I know he's had a lot go on, and people can judge from the outside, but as far as a friend, as far as a teammate, nothing better you could ask for. Player, just from the workouts, y'all have heard the legendary stuff, the handshakes. To me, it's just like he'd almost been here before. Like he had every step planned out. He knew how the defenses were going to play him. Certain moves that he would make, he just takes your breath away. I mean, the collective. You just think of the great times in Norman. You feel like the crowd just holds their breath, thinking, "Oh my God! Like how fast is he going? Like what? Whoa! Did he stay in back?" I mean, so I'll just tell you this: my favorite run of his was 3rd and 1 against Kansas. He had 9 people touch him, and he just got back to the line of scrimmage. I mean, it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's just that dude, man. I mean, physique wise, and grew up a big Barry Sanders fan, big Jim Brown fan. You know, my dad input old school football in me. I think he's up there with the greatest.
Oh, wow. Second name, Bob Stoops.
Amazing motivator, amazing talent evaluator.
Man, you got to give him that. That's
You know, quarterback developer on the sneak.
dang, for real.
Yeah.
People wouldn't know that.
Right.
On the sneak.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know, just look at all the quarterbacks that played under.
That's a fact.
And it wasn't
It's a
just,
fact.
you know.
By mistake.
Right.
It's a fact.
So, special teams guru. Special teams guru. Fake punt against Alabama. Fake field goal up at Missouri. Those were all Bob. Those were all Bob.
Got you.
Man, motivator. Just and him and the other dude is Schmitty. Schmitty's his right hand. You know, I mentioned what Schmitty's like, and it just, you know, those two together, man. Woo,
Yeah.
he was different.
Got you.
He was different.
Got a third name from you. A lot of people in Oklahoma know him.
The basketball world.
Basketball world, of course. Just so happened to be your brother. What does Lenny mean to you?
Man, a lot. You know, he's always kind of taken on a dad role for me. You know, and I could brag on him. I could, you know, only coach that's ever made Super 5 Coach of the Year back-to-back years. Moves up to 6A, wins the title. Thank you guys for supporting and being there. You know, probably would have 3 more titles if it wasn't for that damn Tulsa Memorial Monster. Just being real with you. Shout out to them. Great program. Man, he's just a great dude, you know, and I'm biased too, but I think he's one of the best people you could ever come across.
Okay.
You know, he you know, coaches that meet him, he doesn't have an enemy. You know, just how he treats his family, and you know, for me, it was always I go back to when I was playing basketball and when he would go hoop and when he would, you know, always taking me with him and always put me in situations where I would be playing against people that were better than me, and I think that's something that you know really sticks with me, and those experiences led to this.
Gotcha.
You know, it wasn't, you know, playing with my little league and everything was good, but those guys developing me in the front yard.
For sure.
There's no JD without
Gotcha.
them.
Gotcha. So you had a chance to play at one of the best universities, Oklahoma University, and you played in the era that y'all had some greats. Give us some of the top dudes that you may have played with, you know, from now, back then, that played at OU, that wore the OU jersey.
Your all-time favorite OU quarterback.
All-time favorite quarterback. I mean, obviously, I love Jason, but man, Kyler was tough, man. Kyler was tough. I think the best, and I think very highly of Baker. It's just Kyler and Sam, the way they you know, Kyler's ability with his legs and Sam's just ability to just connect. I mean, and it's really close with Baker right behind him, I think. So
now we'll go to your running back. Your running back AD?
Oh, there's no question. There's no question. Yeah, I mean, you know, even in the league, and I've been around. I've mentioned the guys that we had in college. You know, Chicago, Thomas Jones, Cedric Benson.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, Cadillac Williams. You know, it was Cincinnati back with Cedric, Chris Perry, with Kenny Watson. Go to the UFL with, which I'm sure we're going to talk about. Go to Dominique Rhodes, Tatum Bell. Just great running backs. AD's different.
Gotcha.
He's different.
One receiver. OU, all-time favorite.
I love watching Mark
Clayton.
Watching Clayton ball was special, you know, because his subtleness, and I tried to steal a lot of his moves, man. It was just, you know, basketball and watching Mark Clayton film helped me a lot in the open field. But then me and Travis Wilson are real tight. In fact, he just came in. He came in town. We just kicked it for a little bit, so me and him was always tight. Yeah, MC was different though, man. Gotcha. MC, yeah, you know, you get relationships with all these types of guys just because being a fullback, you're out there with them and you want to see them shine. I think they all had their own abilities, but as far as complete guy, Mark was
Clayton.
different.
Gotcha.
He was
Give
different.
us three defenders.
Tommy Harris, first and foremost. Tommy Harris, get off of the ball, unblockable, powerful, strong, different. Andre Woolfolk.
Okay.
Extreme athlete, extreme ability, just a complete baller. The third, I would have to say, probably. And I know this may sound crazy to you, but Teddy was the smartest linebacker. Curtis Lofton was the most physical.
Gotcha.
Curtis Lofton was a handful. From me blocking everybody and hitting everybody as well, I've gotten knocked down one time.
Curtis Lofton.
When he was a freshman.
Damn.
As I was
he
a
must
senior.
have been physical as shit.
I was a senior. Damn. Yeah. The one dude.
Okay.
That's
Damn.
it.
Gotcha.
He's physical, man. Now, I got him the next play.
Yeah.
But I got to put that in there.
Yeah.
He might come on y'all pod and everything.
Yeah, I got
you.
you.
Let him know. You got JD, but he also got you back.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. What is JD up to now?
Man, went got into, I need to backtrack, had my own gym that was training athletes. Shout out to hopefully Marcus Major starting tailback, moved on after he got his thing and just had helped so many guys. Jason Taylor this year that's about to hopefully get drafted. Had tons and tons of guys. Did that. Went into junior high teaching and coaching. Coached my son's little league team for a little while. I spent a year of high school coaching while I had my gym. Decided I wanted to go be a college coach. Went and volunteered for a great dude, Nick Bobeck at UCO. Was there for 7 months. Sitting in the office for 7 months, wondering if GA life was going to be everything that I was ever going to get. Got a phone call from East Central. Went down there and coached running backs for about, the season for about 5-6 months. While I was down at East Central, started talking to Kevin Sumlin, one of my old position coaches. Brought me down to the USFL to coach running backs with that. Had all that experience, and now they're bringing the league that I played 4 years in the NFL, and then I played 1 year in this league called the UFL. They're bringing that back, and they named me the head coach a couple months back.
Okay. Yeah. Congrats on that.
Congrats on
I'm excited.
Okay.
Real excited.
Okay.
Y'all got to come to some games.
Yeah, for sure. Tell us what's your why.
That's a good question, man. I mean, it kind of leads into the next one as far as, with advice for the youth. My why was I knew from an early age, people can say what they want. I don't like the youngest talk about from the trenches and all that. I don't like to me, that's not something you brag about. But we didn't have money growing up, not like that. Our mom did what she had to do. My dad did what he had to do. But it wasn't, I didn't see $20 until I was a senior in high school, to be real with you. I mean, I just did.
Yeah.
I used to save my lunch money up and, hopefully. But like I said, my parents took care of us, but I knew from a young age, and I saw my uncles, use football to make college. And I knew that I wanted to be, I didn't want to live like my parents lived. I didn't want to, have to worry about some of the things they worried about. And I figured, pro sports was that ticket. And I always took sports seriously. I was always in a sport. I was football, basketball, baseball up until 6th grade. And then I started doing track in junior high school. And man, I just, I was always a competitive kid. Like I always had a basketball in my hand. I always wanted to win. I hate losing. I think, I don't know why, but I hate losing. And, I keep doing what I do now just to, me being that same kid from the east side that was able to play for 4 pro teams, go to OU, play around all these greats. Now I've kind of shifted it to helping those guys do that. And it's glorifying. I brought up Marcus Major, man. Between him and Logan Robertson, those were probably, aside from getting drafted, those were the best days of my life.
Gotcha.
Like hearing that a kid, Logan I had worked with, man, that kid went crazy and we worked 6 a.m. every morning for 3 straight years.
And now that you say that, I think one of my proudest moments, the happiest moment is when I heard Isaiah Thomas get drafted this past year. You know what I mean? Man, so absolutely. I can see how you like.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then, Marcus comes in, and I don't know if y'all remember, but I sent out the tweet. That he reminded me a lot of AD. What was crazy about that, he worked out on a Saturday with me. You wasn't on him like that. Sunday morning, Darwin Franklin, who I think the world of out in Millwood, sends me this message on Twitter. He follows me, and he only follows like 30, 40 people. So he follows me, and he sends me this message like, JD, I can't thank you for what you do for my program. And I'm like, from a workout? Like, appreciate you. Yeah, no doubt. So I get up and I call Marcus's dad. I was like, hey, y'all want to work out? And he's like, man, I guess you saw your tweet. We're on our way down. They having a junior day today, and they invited us down. And I mean, Marcus is the type. When I say he's like AD, I wouldn't say everybody's. If I said he was like Ronaldo, he's like Ronaldo. If I say, dude, when you shake this kid's hand, you feel it. And I mean, you met him and was like, oh my God, like you're put together good, kid, and offered him the next day. You know what I'm saying? And actually, when AD met him, AD and him shake hands and just violent. He's like, man, you got some muscles on you, kid. And I'm like, I told you, like, you remind me of you. Like, you know, I wouldn't be saying, I mean, dude just got muscles everywhere, that cheesy grin, but it's just, I mean, he came out of high school, laser 440, you know, 215. I mean, it sounds familiar.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So, I mean, my why is now just living it through those guys,
kids,
man.
yeah, for sure.
That's it.
And as we wrap it up, look in that camera right there and give a message to the youth.
Ooh, this is a tough one. But I will say, you know, I'm a teacher now. I'm a teacher at a school that most people probably, if they saw it, they wouldn't understand why. I'm very proud to be a black man. I'm very proud of my dad. I'm very proud of my grandfather's grandfather were slaves in Texas. I minored in African American studies. I've lived on the East Side. Like I pour into African American kids. That's what I do. My message to them would be to pour into the people that care about you, but also your education. And it sounds cliche, but we've had so many people that have struggled so that we could see that education. I don't care if they're not checking the ACT score for you to make it to D1.
Yeah.
Still do it. Separate yourself. Because as a black man, you probably got to go twice as far to make it half as far. You got to go twice as hard to make it half as far. And it's not just about young black men. I mean, I'm obviously in North Tulsa, and shout out to y'all with all the history we have, all the history we have in Oklahoma, period. To me, you know, it's invest in the people that invest in you. Take things slow. It ain't all about Twitter. It ain't all about offers. You know, you talking to a guy that was the last offer from his senior year at OU, and it was the first one to get to play. It ain't when you get it. It ain't how you get it. It's because to me, it's the work that you put in that leads up to it. Education wise, those things are true. They're gonna come out at a certain point. Me being a high school coach, me being a junior high coach, y'all, you understand those things. When a college coach comes and asks about you. From your coach, from your teachers, from your students, from people who don't know you.
That's a fact, bro.
They're going to go ask random people, hey, do you know JD? How's he treat you?
That's a fact.
And you know what's weird is
you touched on
some of the kids that, I was just friendly with everybody. Some of the kids that were skaters and this and that, like, you know, me being half white helped. I ain't gonna lie, but we got along. That's why I love Carl Albert so much, man. The diversity, the family environment, but I'm sure Bob, you know, when he was walking around my school, was talking to everybody.
Glad you said that, bro.
Man, so many people hit us up. Can you help us get recruited? First thing I say back, what your head coach gonna say about you?
Yeah.
Why can he not help you?
Yeah.
It's gotta be, you know what I'm saying? It's gotta be a reason.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Be nice to everybody you touch. You come across it. Number one thing I ever tell anybody, me and my brother, a lot of success. We never come from you'll be all right.
That's real, man. Man, much love to you guys.
For sure.
Keep up the great work. Robert Meacham, again, I give you credit. He's the best athlete I've seen. Mike Wilson. Appreciate y'all letting me in their hometown. My boy Mark Anderson, I hope y'all get him on.
Yeah, be here soon. Yep.
Shout out my boy Keywan. You know, much love to him. And yeah, I'm just glad y'all let me rep the 405 down
For sure. We appreciate you, JD. Real talk, bro.
Absolutely.
Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Talk of the Town 918. We had our guy, 405 legend, JD Runnels. Appreciate you, bro. Real talk.
Absolutely.